morning, everyone. How are you? Amazing. That was such a great start. I'm going to start with the sign. Thank you very much, Charles, for the kind introduction. And I'm so excited to be here because, first of all, I feel like I'm really amongst like-minded people, but also because we're standing on the threshold of the biggest revolution of our lifetime. It's the bio-revolution. What is it? The bio-revolution is a phenomenon that McKinsey estimated at $2 to $4 trillion annually across multiple verticals in the next 10 to 20 years. $2 to $4 trillion, that is huge, and I think it can actually be bigger if we're all getting behind it. So this morning I want to start by putting a vision to you. The vision is based on Michael von Massau's conservative projections that we can build a new economy. So imagine yourself for a moment that on this day, in 2030, you open the Globe and Mail and you read this headline. Canada is ahead of the rest of the world to achieve a $7.5 billion sustainable agro-biotech economy. And what I'm talking about here is a new economy. This is in addition to our current $82 billion per year ag and ag-food export business that makes us the 5th largest exporter in the world. But I think we can do better. So what I'm talking about is really a brand new economy that does not exist today, but that's possible. So some of you may wonder, who is Ontario Genomics? And I will tell you about that. I will also tell you about our opportunity in this space, and I will make an exciting investment announcement. So first, let me tell you about Ontario Genomics. At Ontario Genomics, we make supporting cutting-edge technology our bread and butter. And our story is really one of scientific creation, of innovation, of collaboration, and of commercialization. And it really begins with the recognition that genomics is revolutionizing technologies for healthcare, food, and the environment by unlocking the secrets of the DNA and understanding how it shapes life. And that, in turn, helps us scale homegrown solutions to the biggest challenge we all face today. We are funded by federal and provincial government departments, and first and foremost, we foster collaboration. We provide funding and expertise to support groundbreaking public-private and public-public partnership projects that push the boundaries of genomics. And I would say our work has never been more urgent. And this is why. Our world is really changing. And I have to say, these photos are deeply personal to me. I'm an outdoor enthusiast. I spend every free minute outdoor. And BC is one of my favorite places. And seeing the forests in BC burn, like they burned last summer and the summer before, really breaks my heart. It's undeniable that the weather is becoming weirder, and it really impacts safety of people, of animals in so many places. 18% of Canadians experienced some food insecurity in 2022, 18%. All while 30 to 50% of food we produce is lost. And when we look at the photos here, our manufacturing methods are unsustainable. The world's appetite for protein is damaging our planet, and so is our packaging. By the way, our packaging ends up on beaches and beautiful places we like to visit, like Barbados, and I've been a personal witness of that. So these are big global issues, and solving them requires a collective effort. So what are our opportunities? So I'd say the good news is that the biotech revolution is already underway, and it's actually delivering solutions. And I'd say, I'll boast, in Canada, Ontario is leading the way, but I have to tell you that we're really lagging behind the US and China, and we can say, well, they're big economies, but we're also lagging behind the Netherlands and even Singapore when it comes to ag biotech and cellular agriculture in particular. So let's look at what we can learn from a couple of these jurisdictions that I've had an opportunity to visit earlier this year. Take Singapore. We're behind Singapore. Singapore is the size of the GTA. Singapore is super strategic. Their strategy is called 30 by 30. And it means that by 2030, they want to make 30% of their food themselves. Now, if you've been to Singapore, Singapore is a city, there's no room. The only way they can achieve it is by being extraordinarily innovative. And so how they do it is that their regulators are incredibly proactive, open-minded, and they invite companies from around the world to meet with them informally to understand what it takes to bring a safe food onto the market in Singapore. And companies around the world are now using that as a launch pad. And Singapore was the first country in the world where you could taste cultivated meat, some of the photos we saw in the first presentation. Take the Netherlands. The Netherlands is the second largest exporter of ag and food products in the world, second largest. On land, that's 1/26 the size of Ontario, with a population that's about like Ontario. They also can only do it by being extraordinarily innovative and by funding and investing in innovation, and that's what they do. And that attracts the Unilevers of this world to build their state-of-the-art innovation center right in the middle of the University of Wageningen. And that gives students and academics a real unique hands-on access to co-create technologies and to learn from the big guys. So what I saw in these two jurisdictions is what these jurisdictions really have in common is that they have very tight partnership between government, academia, regulators, and business. And folks, I think we can do that here too. So at OG, we're not just watching, we are also leading the charge. And here are just a few of the incredible achievements that I'm very proud of. First of all, over the past 20 years, we have raised $1.4 billion, and that's B with a billion with a B, $billion to fund these kinds of partnered programs. We have funded over 330 projects, and we have fostered partnerships with 500 or so players. And these last two numbers, I think, are very impressive. So I think we're in a good place, but we can do and we must do so much more. And I want to say that behind these numbers are really dedicated researchers, entrepreneurs, visionaries, including my own team, and I have two team members, Mike and Luana, here with me, and please say hi to them. It's really their dedication and ingenuity that brings about this success. And together, we're driving the economy. So take our recent report on the cellular agriculture opportunity in Canada. Cellular agriculture, this is just an example of cellular agriculture. It's a game-changing ability to make real meat or fish grown from the animal cells in a bioreactor without the animal, without the fish. And folks, this is the real thing. This is not artificial or synthetic meat, as some people might refer to it. This is the real thing. This is real meat grown from meat cells, but without the animal. And the whole intent is, of course, to develop sustainability and to fight the existential threats that we face in climate change and food insecurity. And the report has many other fascinating insights into the bioeconomy. The vision that I started out with is really captured and documented in this report, 7.5 billion, new economy, 86,000 jobs by 2030. In the longer term, this could be a $12.5 billion opportunity for Canada. And so what I can tell you is that we're at Ontario Genomics, we're really laser focused on these sustainable solutions with an emphasis on supporting the translation of research to commercialization. So we also support companies directly, and we've been doing this over the last decade. And just to illustrate that funding that goes into more than 30 startups, these startups have raised more than $160 million. And the slide just shows a couple of companies we supported from very early stages on that are now revenue generating. But I'm really thrilled that recently we were able to partner with FedDev, the Federal Development Agency of Southern Ontario, to launch a new program. And that program is BioCreate. BioCreate is a much-needed $11.6 million initiative to give financial support and business guidance to startups across multiple verticals. So far, we have funded 8 amazing SMEs, startup companies, in the last spring. And I don't have time to tell you about all of them, which I would love to do, but I will tell you about one of them, and that's BioFect on the left upper side there. And BioFect Innovations designed a microorganism to mass produce a compound a product that's called brazine. And brazine is a naturally occurring protein in a plant in Africa, tiny amounts, that is 2,000 times sweeter than sugar. And so BioFect found a way to mass produce that in microorganisms. It doesn't spike insulin, and it doesn't have calories. And it doesn't have the bitter aftertaste that so many other artificial sweeteners have. So really a great example of what the technology can do. And to illustrate that, BioCreate is a startup accelerator that is really investing in the most innovative companies, regardless of the sector. You can see multiple sectors here. And I know that these companies will return with a multiple of the investment in the foreseeable future. And I believe that this is the best investment that we can make. And so we are. So I'm thrilled to share with you, hot off the press, our investment in 4 more BioCreate companies this morning. You're the first to see it. The first is Spectra Plasmonics. And Spectra Plasmonics is perfecting a bacteria sensing test to give food and beverage manufacturers quick and accurate results on the safety of their food. Escarpment Labs out of Guelph supplies cutting-edge yeast strains to craft brewers to enhance flavor and make fermentation easier during the beer-making process. On the healthcare side, Toronto-based Kirkan Therapeutics has developed a spleen-targeting nanotechnology to genetically modify T cells directly in the body, which is a promising new strategy to develop CAR T cells, which is a leading therapeutic in cancer, for cancer patients. And finally, Verica Biotech is a local Ottawa-based company that's focused on making cell and gene therapies more accessible and cheaper to produce. They validate viral sensitizers to reduce antiviral defenses to make the production of cell therapies much more efficient. So congratulations to all of our BioCreate companies. So please visit our biocreate.ca website to learn more, and also how you might want to become a mentor or an investor in the company. But that is not all. Of course, startup investment is only one piece. Our CellAct report also attracted numerous folks from around the country and internationally to work with us. And together we are creating infrastructure, access to lab space, and mentorship opportunities. And very proud to give you this example, The Cultivated Bee, which is a German-based company focusing on much-needed bioreactors and scalable cellular agriculture technology, and they landed in Burlington, and you'll hear more from the TCB on a panel after lunch, but very proud to partner with the TCB on an innovation hub. But I will be honest with you, we can't just rely on one international company to land here or one startup program to be competitive in this space. We need a real robust whoa. It's not so robust. We need to make that more robust. So we need a really robust national ecosystem that considers sort of the whole entire pipeline of successful company support. So I want to end with a call to action. And here's what I think we need to do. First of all, we need to get really serious about partnerships between government, industry, and academics to fund R&D at globally competitive levels. And sometimes that means we need to roll out the red carpet to multinationals. We need to fill the infrastructure gap for scale-up. If we don't have space, companies can't grow. If they can't grow, they leave. Simple as that. We need clear and transparent regulations for things like cellular agriculture and other bioproducts. We need to fill the talent gap. Similar to lab space, if companies can't find the people they need to scale up their technology, they leave. Simple. And finally, these pieces need to be brought together in a strong and comprehensive national vision and strategy. So there you have it. I put out a vision, 2030, 7.5 billion, new economy, 86,000 jobs. The race is on. And I would say the opportunity goes beyond lost jobs and lost companies because we're really talking about critical supply chains and trade opportunities. So ultimately, the Canadian story is one of hope and possibility. I love to climb mountains, literally and figuratively. I think we all need to work together to make a reality of these opportunities. And I'm really committed to this, and I'm counting on your commitment. This is an opportunity for all of us. Thank you.